It's not very often that a single act from a person earns them the title of Mad Lad. Usually you need to have a long history of you having a mad life and doing mad things to really earn the title. But this guy did a single act, an act that, despite it being really sad, entertained millions of people around the world and ended up turning him into a little bit of a cultural icon. You all know who he is. Sky King. But before we get into the Mad Lad, we have a sponsor today. A sponsor who has designed a product that is going to absolutely revolutionise the world of gaming. Footmouse.
Introducing a revolution in gaming. Footmouse, the first science-based gaming mouse made for feet.
I've been using Footmouse for over 6 months. My APM is over 520, my KDA has doubled, and my win rate's up. I'm playing with my hands, my feet, my whole entire body is focused on the win. Since I've started, I've completely stopped feeding.
Footmouse, get your foot in the game.
That's right. Footmouse. It's a mouse that you can use with your feet. And I've been using it to play the real sponsor of this video, Raid Shadow Legends. The hottest RPG in the Play Store with over 400 champions for you to collect so that you can win battles or do what my favourite thing is, absolutely school people in the PvP arena. You can spend shards to unlock new champions, you can fight in raids, and you can play raid on both mobile and desktop. And now the daily login reward bonus for new players has been doubled from 90 to 180 days. Log in every day and collect your rewards, including a free legendary champion, Skill of the Drake. So click my link down in the description and you will get a free 100,000 silver and a free champion, Jotun, who is an absolute beast of a champion for new players. All of these rewards will be available here in your inbox, but only for the next 30 days. Sky King's real name was Richard Russell, and unfortunately there isn't a wealth of information into his backstory or past, so I tried to gather together what little I could. He was born in Key West, Florida, and at 7 years old he moved with his parents to Wasilla, Alaska, where he attended high school and he was on the track and field team, and his friends and parents referred to him as the nickname Bebo. He and his wife met in 2011 at a Christian event and they married in 2012. Then both of them together opened a bakery in North Bend, Oregon. In 2015 they sold the bakery so that they would be able to move closer to his wife's family, so Richard had to find a new job. And he found one as a ground service agent for Horizon Air. Richard Russell also had plans for the future. He was attending university majoring in social science, and once he got his degree he planned to either get a management position in Horizon Air or become a military officer. Things seemed to be going very well for Richard Russell. He was married, he had a job, he was the leader of his local Christian youth ministry, he was very active in his church, and he was also making YouTube videos. He was actually making travel diaries of all the places that he managed to travel to with his job at Horizon Air.
Hi, I'm Bebo Russell and I'm a ground service agent. That means I lift a lot of bags. Like a lot of bags. So many bags. Look at all them bags. Ooh, a purple one. I usually have to work outside in this. But it allows me to do some pretty cool things too.
But it wasn't all sunshine and roses. Now the difference between Richard Russell and other Mad Lads is, with the other Mad Lads we can identify, a particular event or series of events in their life that would have acted as, you know, the trigger, you know, these things that would have influenced or caused the mad laddedness. But what's different with Richard Russell is we don't actually know what caused it. You know, maybe it was financial troubles, maybe it was marriage troubles, maybe he was suffering from depression, maybe he just had a mental episode. We just don't know. All we know is that one day Richard decided that he wanted to end it. But he didn't want to go out with a whimper. He wanted to go out with a bang. August 10th, 2018, at SeaTac Airport. And it looks like it's just going to be another normal day. Until, shortly after 7 PM, a Horizon Bombardier Dash 8 starts taxiing towards the runway. Unauthorised. It was Richard. Richard had stolen a plane from one of the storage hangars. The flight control tower starts to fucking panic a little bit at the fact that this unauthorised and unidentified aircraft is just taxiing across runways and skipping the entire takeoff queue to head straight to the runway. They are freaking out and radioing this aircraft, trying to get the aircraft to identify itself, but sadly they received no response. Another aircraft that was on the ground reported back to the tower saying that the unidentified aircraft had reached the runway and was beginning to take off and that smoke was pouring out of its wheels. And then at 7:32, the aircraft successfully took off and took to the skies. The aircraft, while in the sky, then starts flying around erratically and doing stunts like loop-de-loops and things like that. You know, things that you are not supposed to do in an aircraft like that. So the flight control tower are freaking the fuck out, trying to get this pilot on the radio to find out what the fuck he's doing. And then, finally, Richard responds.
Horizon Air 2345, set approach, welcome, final runway 16 right.
Welcome. Man, I'm a ground service agent. I don't know what that is.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Sorry, my mic came off. I threw up a little bit. You know, hold on. Shoot. Man, I'm sorry about this. I hope this doesn't ruin your day.
Just flying the plane around, you seem comfortable with that?
Oh, hell yeah, it's a blast, man. I played video games before, so I know what I'm doing a little bit.
Okay, and you can see all the terrain around you. You've got no issue with visibility or anything?
Nah, everything's peachy clean. Just did a little circle around Rainier. It's beautiful. I think I got some gas to go check out the Olympics. And, yeah.
170 to Pinky contact tower, come 68 Joe, up.
Yeah, that's all mumbo jumbo. I have no idea what all that means. I wouldn't know how to punch it in. I'm off autopilot.
The flight tower then realise what has happened. A ground service agent has stolen a plane, and he's flying around in the air like the fucking Red Baron, having a fucking great time. So the flight control tower freak the fuck out and start to divert flights away from the area to prevent an accident. 2 F-15s were scrambled and sonic boomed their way over to the scene to intercept Richard Russell and his party bus of the skies. And they tried their best to steer him towards the Pacific Ocean, but they did not fire on him. The flight control tower then start to instruct Richard on how he can safely land the plane. Although I don't think Richard had any intention of landing the plane. Not conventionally, anyway.
A couple hours, I guess. But, yeah, I wouldn't know how to land it. I wasn't really planning on landing it.
Knows how to fly one of those aircraft, but we'll see what we can do and get you in contact with somebody.
Alrighty, yeah, I just kind of want to do a couple maneuvers, see what it can do before I put her down, you know?
Right now he's just flying around, and he just needs some help controlling his aircraft.
Very good. Nah, I mean, I don't need that much help. I played some video games before. I would like to figure out how to get this cabin altitude, like I know where the box is. I would like to get some, make it make it pressurized or something so I'm not so lightheaded. Yeah, I don't know anything. I don't know anything about the autopilot. I'm just kind of hand flying right now.
Okay. There is the runway just off your right side in about a mile. Do you see that? That's McCord Field.
Oh man, those guys will rough me up if I tried landing there. I think I might mess something up there too. I wouldn't want to do that. Hopefully. Oh, they probably got anti-aircraft.
No, they don't have any of that stuff. We're just trying to find a place for you to land safely.
Yeah, not quite ready to bring it down just yet, but holy smokes, I gotta stop looking at the fuel because it's going down quick.
Okay, Rich, if you could you start a left-hand turn, and we'll take you down to the southeast, please.
This is probably like jail time for life, huh? I mean, I would hope it is for a guy like me.
Now, this is the part that really made people like Richard Russell. It's the part that made me really like him, because if I was in that situation, I would have done the exact same thing. He just starts fucking with the flight controllers.
A little bit.
483. 141.
Man, have you been to the Olympics? These guys are gorgeous. Holy smokes.
Yeah, I have been out there. It's always a nice drive.
I think I might have a beer.
Yeah, I bet you do. I haven't done much hiking over there, and but if you could start a left turn and turn back towards the east. I know you're getting a good view there, but if you go too much further in that direction, I won't be able to hear you anymore.
All right. Hey, pilot guy, can this thing do a backflip, you think? I wouldn't mind just shooting the shit with you guys, but it's all business, you know?
But it's going to be a little while.
Damn it, Andrew! People's lives are at stake here!
Now, Rich, don't say stuff like that.
Nah, I just told you, I don't want to hear no one. I just want you to whisper sweet nothings into my ear. Hey, you think if I land this successfully, Alaska will give me a job as a pilot?
I think they would give you a job of doing anything if you could pull this off.
Yeah, right. Nah, I'm a white guy.
What did he mean by this? Russell continues his flight, doing stunts in the air and having a great time, but towards the end of his flight, he starts to talk about things that he wants to see while he's high up in the air, and the conversation actually starts to get a little bit sad.
If you wanted to land, probably the best bet is that runway just ahead and to your left. Again, that's McCord Field. If you wanted to try, that might be the best way to set up and see if you can land there. Or just like the pilot suggests, another option would be over Puget Sound into the water.
Dang, did you talk to McCord yet? Because I don't think I'd be happy with you telling me I could land like that, because I could mess some stuff up.
Well, Rich, I already talked to him, and just like me, what we want to see is you not get hurt or anybody else get hurt. So like I said, if you want to try to land, that's probably the best place to go.
Hey, I want the coordinates of that orca with the, the mama orca with the baby. I want to go see that guy. Kind of lightheaded, dizzy. Man, and, the sights went by so fast, too. I was thinking, like, I'm going to have this moment of serenity, I'll be able to take in all the sights. There's a lot of pretty stuff, but I think they're prettier in a different context. Minimum wage, we'll chalk it up to that. Maybe that'll grease the gears a little bit with the higher up. Maybe, yeah. I got a lot of people that care about me, and it's going to disappoint them to hear that I did this. I would like to apologize to each and every one of them. Just a broken guy. Got a few screws loose, I guess. Never really knew it until now.
And then, after putting on a huge show for everyone, Russell delivers his final message.
I feel like I need to be, what do you think, like 5,000 feet at least to be able to pull this barrel roll off? I'm going to land it. In a safe kind of manner. think I'm gonna try to do a barrel roll, and if that goes good, then I'll just go nose down and call it a night.
These were only select clips of the audio recording and they were not in order. If you want the full length audio recording, you can find that online. There's tons of them on YouTube. After his final message, Richard Russell, Sky King, did a barrel roll. A manoeuvre that has been seen as iconic among his fans. Out of the entire spectacle, that barrel roll was the most impressive and amazing thing that he did. It was so impressive, in fact, that extremely skilled pilots from all over the world were themselves impressed. Mostly at the fact that Richard Russell had what they assumed to be 0 flight hours, and despite that, he was able to pull off an extremely difficult aerial manoeuvre. What made it even more impressive, in fact, is the plane he was in is not supposed to be able to do that. Then Sky King directed his plane towards Ketron Island, which is a small island with only a few inhabitants. And like he said he would do, he went nose down and called it a night, crashing into the forest in the middle of the island. And Sky King died instantly. The island was so remote that it took emergency services 1.5 hours to get there because they had to arrange a ferry to take them across to the island, and then they also had to traverse through the thick forest to reach the 2-acre forest fire that had started because of the crash. The island was mostly uninhabited, and looking at it from the sky, it looks like there's no one living on it, which I feel is the reason why Sky King chose this as his place to crash, because he genuinely didn't want to hurt anyone. The crash did happen quite close to an occupied cabin, but they weren't touched at all. There was no damage to the cabin, no damage to their property. The only casualty of the crash was Sky King. Also, the island's remote location made cleanup of the crash very difficult. As of recording this video, there is still debris from the crash on the island.
New vegetation is growing, and there are wood chips covering up the scars in the earth. But if you poke around in the woods, you'll still find reminders of what happened here. Just a secluded swath of forest she'd visit for camping, or to just get away.
It's taken on a new energy. It's not quite what it used to be.
The tranquility shattered a year ago when 28-year-old Richard Russell, an Alaska Airlines employee, stole a Horizon plane from SeaTac.
After the incident, the FBI took charge of the investigation, and in their final report, they established that the incident was in no way linked to terrorism or organised criminal activity. They established that Richard Russell had acted completely alone and he was just suicidal. Given data taken from the plane's black box that was recovered from the crash site, the FBI established that the nose-down crash at Ketron Island was intentional. But despite that, even after looking into Sky King's background, his personal life, his computer, searching his house, and even interviewing all of his family and friends, the FBI couldn't really find a reason as to why he did this. I mean, we know he wanted to. We just don't know why. In Horizon Air's own investigation into their employee, they says that as far as they were concerned, Sky King did not have a pilot's license, and they said that they had absolutely no idea where he learned to fly a plane. Now, some people have theorised that he learned to fly this plane through flight simulators, which do, in great detail, teach you how to fly aircraft. But the FBI obviously checked his computer, and it was never noted in the report that they found flight simulators on it. I mean, the flight simulator explanation seems to be the most sensible one. But surely the FBI would have mentioned it if they found any. I find that a little bit weird. Pilots from all over the world were also very perplexed as to how a man with no pilot's license, no flight experience, and what they assumed to be 0 flight hours was able to pull off some of the most difficult aerial manoeuvres imaginable in a plane that was not built to do those manoeuvres. So how the hell did Sky King do it? Again, we have no fucking idea. In the aftermath, the incident absolutely blew up online. Everyone was talking about this random guy that stole a plane, took it into the air, did stunts that he should not have been able to do, and the entire time he was doing it, he was trolling the shit out of the flight controllers. It's just so impressive. It's just so fucking impressive. And it was because of this spectacular feat of his that everyone gave Richard Russell his famous nickname, Sky King. Now, I know all of you know who Sky King is. Everybody knows who he is. When the incident happened, it was all over the news, all over the internet, and it was also fairly recent. It's just, Sky King is one of the most requested Mad Lads. I just felt the need to do Sky King because he's one of the most requested Mad Lads, and also because I just find his stories so fucking impressive. So fucking impressive. But before we go, I do feel that there are a few things we need to discuss about Sky King's adventure. Sometimes when people want to commit suicide, they want to do some horrible shit before they go out the door, you know, like murder or go on mass shootings, you know, just pathetic shit. Absolutely pathetic shit. And those types of people are absolute scum. But that's not how Sky King did it. I mean, he did want to end his life, but in doing so, he entertained millions of people. I mean, while it was going on, there was people on the ground that were filming him, laughing, smiling, clapping, like, and the whole time he was doing it, he was trolling the shit out of the flight control tower. I mean, even though it was an extremely sad event, like, it made people happy. And that's the weird thing about it. Obviously, they were happy because they didn't know what was really going on, but still, like, people were thoroughly entertained and happy watching Sky King flying around the sky, doing his stunts. I think what really made Sky King become such an icon is the fact that he didn't hurt anyone. And it's obvious he didn't want to hurt anyone. I believe that's why he chose such a remote location to do his crash. He wanted to crash as far away from people as he possibly could. I think he just wanted to have a little bit of fun before he went. But in doing so, he made sure that he didn't hurt anyone. The thing with Sky King is, like, talking about him, even all this time later, it's still hard to, like, not smile. It's still hard to, like, not feel entertained. I mean, even watching the videos of him, like, flying around the air and doing barrel rolls and all that stuff, it's very, very hard to not feel happy watching it. I mean, obviously it's an absolutely tragic thing that he wanted to kill himself. But the way that he went about it actually brought happiness to people. Now, if you're considering suicide, don't, right? Don't. But if you were going to do it, I mean, that's the way to fucking do it, right? But don't. Okay, though that little thing I was doing there, that's just a joke, right? Don't even think about it. You might get the odd person that whinges and goes, oh, but he destroyed a plane that was worth millions of dollars. That's what insurance is for. Go fuck yourself. I do have a lot of respect and admiration for Sky King. Just because, how the hell was he able to pull something like that off and still act like an absolute troll all the way through it, and at the end of the day, not hurt anyone? And I just have a lot of admiration for that. I still find it absolutely tragic and terrible that he wanted to kill himself, though. That gets me a little bit. And there are still a lot of things that we don't know about the whole situation. But what we do know is, a man just wanted to see a baby orca do a barrel roll and then nose down and call it a night.
It's Count Dankula on YouTube. Everybody should subscribe. Yeah.